The president of Kazakhstan, Nursultan Nazarbayev, has called for an early presidential election, rejecting calls for a referendum to extend his term unopposed until 2020. Nursultan said that the country still has a lot of work to do implementing social and industrial modernization plans. My colleague Kirill Sukotsky caught up with the Prime Minister of the oil-rich nation, Karim Massimov, at the World Economic Forum's annual meeting in Davos, and began by asking him about the prospects for the country.
Kazakhstan went well through the economic crisis. Nevertheless, Kazakhstan used to be hit a lot by the international financial crisis. Nevertheless, we managed it well. And in 2010, we are back for 7% growth and 10% growth, industrial growth. And for the time being, Kazakhstan is exporting 1.5 million barrels a day. And according to our forecast, by the next decade, we will double the size. We will export 3 million barrels a day. We are blessed by the huge natural resources, and we strongly believe that these natural resources will help us to establish a knowledge-based economy. That's why, according to our plan, we have a strong program for human resource. We have a strong program for hard infrastructure and for soft infrastructure. I think in 1 decade, in 10 years' time, Kazakhstan will be on the top among the emerging markets, and we are working very hard to achieve it.
How much foreign investment do you need for this?
According to our program, we already attracted $110 billion of foreign direct investments. We strongly believe that in the next decade, we will get about $100 billion foreign direct investment into the Kazakh economy.
How much will the state play the role in the economy?
During the crisis, Kazakhstani government and state played a more significant role. But I think now it's time to go back, to make a step back, to let the private initiative, foreign direct investment, our local businesses to be more attractive, to play a bigger role. And the government should play a role in the regulator, the investment into the infrastructure, preferably on PPP, private-public partnership, and the co-investor if it will be needed.
Will you seek strategic investors and sell them stakes in the companies, or would you rather, let companies go public and list on stock exchanges?
We had different stages. At the beginning, in the early 90s, we attracted strategic investors. And then we let companies to go public. On London Public Stock Exchange, we are working now with the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. For the time being, we are preparing a massive program for the public privatization for the population. And by doing that, we can create our local stock exchange, which is not very active for the time being.
Yes, you spoke last year about that People's IPO. When can this start?
It will be started in 4 weeks' time from now.
So in 4 weeks' time, you will announce the start?
We will announce the start of the operation, and we will announce how we are going to do that.
With removal of tenge corridor in March, what do you expect from the Kazakh currency in 2011?
For the time being, Kazakhstani currency is strong. Our hard reserve is very strong. I don't think it will be a much fluctuation.
It's 147 versus the dollar now. How much do you expect by the end of the year?
I think it will stay about the same.
When do you expect? Do you expect any difficulties with any foreign investors in oil and gas sector in Kazakhstan?
In 2007 we had a big debate with investors about the Kashagan project. Now we are debating about the Karachak project. But I want to confirm that we are committed to the sanctity of the contract. And if the investors are committed what they promise, we are not going to re-debate.
But when do you expect a resolution of these Karachak negotiations?
Soon.
Do you think that government should enter into the project and take a stake in the project?
I cannot confirm or deny its negotiation is still going on.
But they are on a good track with negotiations with
I think so.
There are also, you have several state companies in oil and in mining, but you don't have any state companies in gold. Do you plan to create any kind of analog of Kazmunaygas of the gold sector, state-run gold mining company?
We have a company called Samruk Kazina, which is the national
Sovereign Wealth Fund.
Sovereign Wealth Fund. And within the Sovereign Wealth Fund, we have a company in mining. I think partly it could be also taking care about the gold, but we need investors. I mean, state cannot do it by their own.
President Nazarbayev said that by 2020, 40% of the GDP should come from small and medium-sized businesses. What will the government do to achieve that?
This is a very important question. And I mentioned at the beginning that we are working on a soft infrastructure, which means we need restructure, we need
to diversify the economy.
Diversify the economy, and what is important is the structural and institutional reform. Last year, World Bank ranked Kazakhstan as the best reformer in the world, and we want to continue this way. We want our small and medium-sized enterprises to be free.